The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
This is Robbie Ross with the Ross Report for 912 Sports. Recently, the Georgia High School Association Board of Trustees set into motion a plan that could result in instant replay being available for the 2023 state championship football games. Of course, everybody remembers back in December at Georgia State University Turner Field, Cedar Grove and Sandy Creek had an instance where instant replay would have drastically changed that state championship game. Sandy Creek scored a touchdown, or they were ruled scoring a touchdown, where the runner came very, very shy of the goal line by about a yard, if we're being honest, and was instrumental in their victory over Cedar Grove. That was late in the game. Cedar Grove would have gone on to win that state championship game. Well, it was third down, so they would have had another down. But never know what was going to happen in that fourth down play. So that has really started the ball rolling for instant replay in state championship football games, especially. The National High School Football or National High School Federation does not allow instant replay to be used during regular season games for obvious reasons. Very rural communities across not only the state of Georgia, but across the state have limited resources at home football games, to much less to video games and put them out on the internet and stream them, much less have instant replay capabilities. We're still just now seeing most schools in the state of Georgia implementing the play clock, where they have a digital play clock in the end zone, much less instant replay capabilities. So regular season games are not at question here. It would be in state championship games at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where they will be for the next 3 years at least. And they obviously have the video capabilities to do so. And that is going to be tried out specifically coming up this season, hopefully at the Corky Kell Classic that is held every year in Atlanta, a preseason group of games that the GHSA holds, mainly with Metro Atlanta schools. That's a whole other topic for another day. Sometimes occasionally South Georgia schools go up for the Corky Kell. But seeing that those games are held at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where the state championships games will be held later on this year, it will be a good place to test it out to see if instant replay is viable there, which we all know it will be. They have them in NFL games there. They have them in college football games there that are played at Mercedes-Benz. So the technology is there. Also, the GHSA is looking to do instant replay in other state championship games for all sports. So for basketball, baseball, all down the line, for all sports and for girls and boys. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, the questions that come to mind, first off, is what would be the process? Is it going to be a challenge flag like the NFL? Is it going to be a stoppage of play buzzed from upstairs? Is there going to be official upstairs watching each play and then buzz down to say, hey, we need to review that? I know here recently in college basketball, there's been some issues with the game being stopped too frequently, with stoppages going to the monitor. But of course, in college basketball, I think you can only do it in under 2 minutes in each half. But still, that seems to drag on, where they are reviewing almost every play in some games, and fans have voiced their opposition to that. So the nuts and bolts of it will be discussed going forward in future meetings, April 16th and 17th in Macon by the GHSA, to see exactly how they're going to implement it and what process will be used. But for me, for one, I think it's a no-brainer. This is just this past year was just the first or the last of many instances in state championship games where a play here or a play there, controversial play here, controversial play there, has changed the outcome in what can be titled the most important games of the year for teams, the most important games in program history. So something has to be done, and I'm happy that finally it's a shame that the Cedar Grove community has to suffer in order for something to get done, but that's how it is in our society most times. Something has to happen before something good takes its place. So hopefully going forward, starting in 2023, we'll have instant replay in state championship games, and then who knows, on down the line, as technology evolves, we may one day see instant replay in the regular season at your local stadium. So stay tuned for that. I'm Robbie Ross. This has been the Ross Report on 912 Sports.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined here by the head baseball coach for the Ware County Gators, Coach Jamie Ammons. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Doing great, man. Coach, you guys coming off defending region champs of Region 158, getting ready to kick off baseball season. As a matter of fact, as this show plays, you guys are playing a scrimmage game over in Lone County, but the real season starts on the night that you guys get kicked off over at Glen Academy, facing the Red Terrors. But Coach, let's go back to last year. A fantastic season. Didn't win state, but hey, listen, we got that region championship. Had a lot of great players. But this year we got a new region. As a matter of fact, the only team that we saved from last year's region is our old folk, Coffee County. But we got a lot of new guys in that region. So let's talk a little bit about that region and what it's going to mean for you guys this year as we go into baseball season.
As competitive as last year's region was, I think we just joined another competitive region. We had a Greenbrier, you had a Statesboro, you had a Jenkins, and you had a Bradwell, and with Coffee. So you've got perennial, year in, year out, top 10 teams in the state right there in Coffee. Greenbrier's been in the final Elite Eight the last couple of years. Great ball clubs, really expecting a lot of competition out of Region 15A in baseball.
Yeah, you think about Greenbrier. I mean, they're a perennial power. Several state championships. I know back in the day when Coach Conley was the head coach, that would seem like Greenbrier was always Ware County's nemesis. Then you talk about Statesboro; they've been good year in and year out. And oh, by the way, Coffee County's still there. So I had some great battles with Coffee County last year, where I was able to get them. But like I said, it's going to be a great region. And then of course, I'm sure you got a good non-region schedule set up as well.
Yeah, non-region's a little bit different. We gained Wayne County as a non-region opponent, right. And we had a similar with Greenbrier joining our region. We have to allow the opportunity for the Masters week to be an open week because that just displaces them with all the traffic and everything in Augusta. So we had a Wayne during spring break this year, and that's going to be a great series. We've got a double. Home and home with Wayne, and we also have Charlton. So we got Charlton on the schedule, Wayne, Glenn, Brantley, Calvary Day, Appling, Pike, Thomas County Central, Effingham, Bacon, and that wraps up our non-region there. And it's really 4 weeks of non-region baseball to get yourself ready to buckle your chin strap and go to work. And it's right out the gate for region. We've got Statesboro. Then we've got Jenkins, and then the difference in the Coffee series, it's not the last series, it's the third series of the season. Then we have the open week with spring break with Wayne and Charlton. Then we go to Greenbrier for a doubleheader, and then we got Bradwell to wrap up that week. And it's kind of those last 2 weeks, the doubleheaders are actually going to be on Tuesday instead of the weekend because of the way we had to shuffle with Georgia High School shifting the dates of the first round of the playoffs to the 24th or that Monday instead of that Thursday.
Yeah, that's going to be a long haul on a Tuesday to go all the way up to Augusta, but it is what it is. We'll get through it. But Coach, again, had a great season last year. Had a lot of good seniors move on. We're going to lose Carter Barnes, Trey Jeffers, JoJo Callahan, Stephen Taylor, Noah Hooks, and Shiloh Christmas. All those guys have gone. They graduated, so now it's time to replace them. A lot of those guys are playing college ball, but like I said, so now we've got some new senior leadership coming in with Caden Henderson, Dean, Justice, Steedley, Weathersby, Watson, and Lewis. So let's talk about that new senior leadership and who you're going to be depending on where on the baseball field.
As far as replacing those 6 guys from last year, I don't know that you could ever do that. Those guys were pillars of the program. And a lot of those guys were 3 or either 4-year starters. So we're going to do our best job to reload. I don't know that you can replace. We're going to try to reload. So we've got great senior class that a lot of those guys have played a lot of innings. Landon and Caden have logged a lot of innings on the mound for us the last 2 years. So I expect them to carry the workload as the 1 and 2 or 1A, 1B, as you and I like to refer to it as. Alex is going to roll in the center field and do what Alex does. Alex has really worked hard in all season on a swing and is really putting in some time right now to be that guy that's going to solidify the center field spot and be an offensive threat as well. Lane Steedley is really one of those guys that that can pitch it and hit it. You know, he's one of those guys. He's a left-handed pitcher that you know, hopefully we can get some consistency out of and get him on the mound, get some success, and then, you know, watch him swing the bat like he's done the last 2 years. Zach Watson is one of those guys that he was kind of our first bat off the bench last year, and I expect him to fulfill that similar role, DH type, that just swings the bat with raw strength. I mean, you look at him, kid's going on to play college football at Western Carolina. He's going to be a great asset in their program, but he's also, before he graduates, he chose not to leave early. He wanted to play a senior season of baseball. So I'm very fortunate to have Zach out there. And then Easton Weathersby, he's played a great role guy the last 2 years, defensive replacement, base running. You know, he's right now in Ware County history, he's probably scored the most exciting run 2 years ago to send us to the Final Four. So Easton's going to compete for an outfield spot and offensively, you know, be a threat like Alex.
Yeah. Well, like I said, good senior leadership coming back for this year, but also got some underclassmen that's going to contribute as well. Talking a little bit about some of the newcomers and some of the guys that last year was their first year, but you're looking for big things out of them. Well,
we got a 4-member. We had a 7-senior junior class and a 4-member senior class. I'm sorry, 7-member senior class and 4-member junior class. So we got some new faces in there. Tegan Harris is going to compete for the catching spot. Noah Bunch is going to log some innings on the mound and kind of be that fourth outfielder with pitchers pitch. That's the interesting thing about this team. We have 33 guys on the roster and 22 pitch.
Wow.
So bullpens have been fun to schedule this spring, and it's a blessing as a pitching guy to have that opportunity to give those guys an opportunity to log some innings on the mound. So Noah Bunch is going to compete for some innings there. Tyson Justice is an outfielder, and we've got Nico Smith, who's a newcomer to the baseball program. It's his first year playing high school baseball, and he's going to be an outfielder and you know, run some bases for us and try to get a role on our team as well. We got 10 sophomores: Chase Bogan, Cole Cox, Bryce Dixon, Grant Geiger, Jackson Harris, Logan Hatcher, Luke Hooks, Evan Joyner, Reed Kirkland, and Evan Pearson. So some of those guys, I've been using the word fluid a lot this spring because it's like with this many young kids, we have 12 freshmen and 10 sophomores that are on that I consider them underclassmen. 22 of those guys, it's gonna be like making the travel roster. Who's going to play varsity tonight? Who's going to play JV? Those kind of things, especially with those arms. Several of those guys are returners: Cole Cox, Bryce Dixon, Luke Hooks, and Evan Joyner and Evan Pearson both traveled or, you know, played a role on last year's team. Cole Cox was that base running threat. Luke Hooks had some meaningful big time innings, just like Cole on the mound. Had a couple starts in there, and the rest of those guys were kind of role players. But a lot of those guys are going to see a lot of innings on the mound this year to try to, you know, keep our guys fresh. You know, it's not what you do in February, it's what you do in May that really matters. So we want our guys fresh at the back end of the year. And who knows, we may also have some of those freshmen that by the end of the season are you know, giving us some meaningful roles and at-bats and innings on the mound and defensive replacements and those kind of things.
Right. Well, it's one of the things that's really been a trademark of this program is it seems like every year you have a freshman that steps up and contributes to the ball club. And so this year you probably will have the same thing.
Well, one of the things that I like to do with our program is we call it JV because that's what everybody else calls it, but it's really like your minor leagues. You want to develop those players and give them the same attention that you give your varsity. And that's one of the challenges that I have with my staff is that your job as a JV or assistant coach is just as important as my job as a head coach of varsity. It's managing those players, it's developing those players, and finding out what they are going to be successful at to help us in this program.
Exactly. Well, speaking of staff, Coach, you got a new staff this year, so let's talk about those guys that are coming on to help you.
Well, we lost Coach Smith. Coach Smith is now our bass fishing coach. So we kind of shifted some things around. Evan Durden is my top varsity assistant, and I've got Jay Bearfield returning to be my assistant varsity coach. Durden and Bearfield are both my outfield coaches. Coach Bearfield's going to coach first base, and Coach Durden's going to be kind of like that assistant head coach that's going to manage the dugout, help me make decisions, that kind of thing. He'll coach third in my absence and those kind of deal. Coach Meadows is also returning for us. He's going to step up and be the head JV coach. And we pulled Coach Chris Musgrove up from the middle school. He's going to be our assistant coach, and he may be the floater, between JV varsity, just depending on the need on that day. But that completes our staff. We have our certified athletic trainer, Jen Roberts, is back on staff with us, and Cole Gibson's going to operate as like a student assistant manager type for us.
All right, good deal. Well, Coach, right around the corner, like I said, you guys tonight are off at a scrimmage against Long County. Real season, first game starts against Glen Academy on the 9th over in Brunswick. So you guys keep getting better, and we'll have every game right here on 912sports.net. So we're looking forward to a great 2023 season.
Thank you, Sean. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Hello everybody, I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. I'm at Brunswick High School where baseball practice is going on behind me for the junior varsity team. The varsity team will be out here momentarily putting on the finishing touches for their preseason scrimmage against Camden County, which is actually today. And then next week, the Pirates will open their 2023 season against Brantley County with 2 games early in the week. Now, before I came out to the ball field here, I was also inside the BHS Fieldhouse with head coach Greg Roberts to talk about the 2023 season. Now, let's go to that interview with the head ball coach of the Pirates. All right, I'm here with Coach Greg Roberts, head coach here at BHS. Coach, thanks for being with us here today. Obviously, you're just less than a week away as we do this from starting a new season. Talk about, first of all, maybe what year it is for you, and just do you still get a little nervous feeling in your stomach or certain excitement that kind of comes to the forefront when you're just days away from a new season?
Yeah, this is obviously year 3 at Brunswick High and year 18, 17 as 18 as a head. So yeah, I mean the nerves still get there. I think it's more about the uncertainties than it is the game. The game part actually slows down and is that kind of the enjoyment part of it. But leading to the point in the practice time of have we gone over this? Do we need to go back over that? What are we missing? What do we need to work on? These last couple of days are not cram days, but we're trying to get in as much as we can. We've had a few water days we've had to work around, but it's fun. That's why I do it. I enjoy the butterflies or the nervousness. I mean, another year, another group. It's exciting. We're less than 2 days away from a scrimmage and 4 from a game, so it's here.
Awesome. I was going to ask you that if you're kind of going over your mental checklist and, we need to cover this again, or, I did actually forget to cover this, and we might encounter this even in our scrimmage, or just some things that maybe y'all need to re-emphasize. So you kind of answered that question for me. But, Coach, let's talk about the schedule. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the GHSA kind of came in maybe a little later than usual and changed the start dates for everybody around the state just to get more room on the back end. I think that had something to do with maybe getting more games at Truist Park where the Braves play state championship series. But talk about the way that whole schedule change for the state actually impacted you and the Brunswick High School Pirates, because I know our region also decided to keep the schedule you already had set in place, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we did. The one thing that did change is Coach Weber and I at Glenn decided to move ours forward. We didn't want to get in a situation where either one of us may have been getting into the playoffs on a Monday, and we're finishing up a game 3 set on a Friday, and we had to play a Monday, Tuesday, or something early in the next week to be ready. Actually, it was before that. So we were supposed to play that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the playoffs were supposed to start that Friday. So we were worried about trying to get in a 3-game set on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and have to come back and bring those guys back ready to throw on Friday and Saturday. So we felt like that what was best for both programs was they gave us an extra week to play. So we moved it to the beginning of the season. So our first region schedule is actually is against Coach Weber and the Red Terrors from across town. And they gave us an actual earlier week start date to play and an earlier practice date to play. So we're actually a week earlier in the year practicing. We're going to play a week earlier. So we lost one game is all. I was able to reschedule. The first 2 games we played with Brantley, I lost them in that week that we moved the Glenn series to. So that's why we're playing them Monday and Tuesday next week. We're able to get that and work that out. So I'm gracious to them for allowing us to keep those 2 games. But we're still shy of 1 game. But we'll probably pick something up along the way as we go if we can.
And Coach, that's awesome. Obviously, you mentioned year 3 for you over here at BHS. I think you got some familiar faces back, but also, from what I understand, a lot of new guys that are maybe either up from JV or up at the high school level for the first time. So just talk about this team and how excited you are about the makeup of it.
Well, we only got 4 seniors, and all 4 of these guys are going to contribute a lot. You know, it's when you think about a 6A program and you got 4 seniors, it's kind of, but all these guys are seasoned. They've got a lot of time under their belt. Isaiah Brodowicz caught every game last year for us for the most part. Riley Morgan coming back as a center fielder and left-handed pitcher. Caden Purvis, the same thing. Started a lot of games for us at first base and pitched a lot down the stretch. And Hunter Brasher, which is going to get time at third, possibly some at first, and also on the mound, and was probably probably the most relief innings we had all year last year for us. Those 4 seniors are leading the way. They're seasoned. They got a lot of time under the belt. We're expecting big things from all of them. All three of those guys, other than Isaiah, are going to get a lot of mound time, which is good. It's something that we've not had a lot of here, as far as guys coming back with a tremendous amount of mound time. Riley being going on his 3rd year as a starter is big. Caden's really looks good. He's getting a lot of looks for some college stuff right now. I'm excited for him because he looks the part. He's that big, tall, 6'5" lefty that has got an upside that's tremendous. And then we got some guys throughout the middle that's coming back. Our junior class had a lot of time last year. Roland Chance played a lot of third base last year for us. Same scenario as a junior. He's really swinging it real well. I'm really excited to see where he's at. He's really driving some baseballs, and I hope we can transition that from practice time into game time. Ryan Thomas, which started most of the games in the outfield for us last year, is going to come back and solidify a spot in the outfield. I don't know what position is going to be left, right. And when Riley goes to mount, it's going to be center. We're still doing some flipping around of what we like in that magnitude. As far as, and you got Elijah Wellman that's in the middle of basketball right now with Coach Turner, and don't know when we'll get him back. the way they're playing, but Elijah's coming out. He's throwing. He's doing things. I mean, he's going to be right now. He's that top 3 starter for us, obviously on the mound. We feel like he's one of the best in our league, and when he's ready to go, I feel like we're going to be really good. With the top end of those guys on the mound. We got a lot of young guys that are coming up from JV that haven't had a lot of varsity time, and our freshman class is really good. It's really talented. I'm really excited about it. We've got 4 or 5 guys on that are 9th graders that are going to play some significant time. I mean, this may be the youngest infield I've ever started as a head coach, and it's not that they can't play it. They're just younger. So I'm really excited to see where this is going. We've got a good core. I'm excited about the coaching staff. I'm really excited about this group and what the future is like here at Brunswick.
And Coach, you kind of mentioned some of those guys that are your more experienced guys. Your seniors are going to be some of the guys that you're going to put out there into one position, which of course is the pitcher's mound.
That's it.
And from what I know about this team, it seems like maybe pitching could be or should be a strength for you in terms of depth, but also not just guys that can throw it, but guys that actually are pretty good. You mentioned some of those guys, but would you agree with that pitching hopefully is going to be a strength of this club?
Yeah, if it's not, we're in trouble. I mean, I really feel like as they go, we're going to go this year. I mean, not our Achilles heel, I can't say. We've pitched it pretty well the last 2 years, and we've played pretty good defense. And, I kind of pride myself on pitching and defense, that whole defense wins championships thing, but we've not hit it very well. And we've spent a tremendous amount of time in this offseason of just pounding baseballs and try to get better offensively because we knew we had a good group of guys that have seasoned that are coming. I mean, all four of those guys are that we see our top four right now that have gotten the most mound already have college offers and are going to college to pitch. Even Elijah's, so if those guys can't get it done, we're in trouble. I mean, so I'm expecting big things from them to give us a shot every night when I send them out there. And if that doesn't happen, then you can't send four guys like that out there on a regular basis. You're in trouble to get a job done. So, yeah, we're planning on that being the core and what we're trying to work around. We're hoping to be able to move some runners, do some things we've not done a good job in the past on striking out runners in scoring position. We did that a tremendous amount last year. We've not bunted well. We've not hit behind runners. We've done a lot of things poorly offensively. That we cleaned just half of that up a little bit with what I feel like we're able to do on the mound. But we got a good chance to compete.
Coach, talk about that. I know from watching those games with Golden Isles baseball, you'd get about 4 or 5 deep in the lineup, and then just seems like you didn't get any production out of the bottom half of your lineup, just to put it simply. But you mentioned pounding baseballs and doing things to address the hitting. I mean, can you elaborate a little bit more on what you've done to maybe make hitting more of a positive for you guys?
Yeah, I think as much as weight room is going to be a crucial piece for us. I mean, I felt like last year there were times late in the year we were tired, we were weak, we were getting blown away with fastballs that were low to mid 80 fastballs. Not even things that I felt like we should have missed. We did a poor job of swinging through a lot of fastballs early in the counts. And with good high school pitchers and good high school staffs, you get behind and you're going to get their best stuff. And a lot of it has to do with just age and time served and time doing it. And we've got a lot of guys that are coming back from last year that were in that 5, 6, 7, 8 slot in the lineup that are now going to be another year in that realm of being towards the top. And so if our bottom half of young guys that we feel like this year can produce and what we've got from last year comes forward and grows and gets better, then we're going to be okay. I mean, we've spent long hours in the cage. We've worked more on bunting and hitting behind runners in practice and doing everything you can imagine and talking about approaches and talking about swings and fixing swing mechanics. We've beat our head in trying to get to where the point where we feel better offensively.
And Coach, obviously talk about the region. You're going to play some non-region games, obviously, first of all, to get you ready for region, but you do jump right out of the gate. You mentioned with Glenn Academy, we know they're a returning playoff team. You still got South Effingham and Effingham there, but 3 new Augusta schools, Grovetown, Lakeside Evans, and Evans, getting rid of some of the other teams that were here, Statesboro, Richmond Hill. Am I leaving somebody out? Bradwell Institute. So even though you're switching teams, that was a good baseball region. I would venture to guess you're going to tell me this is a good baseball region.
I don't expect anything different. I mean, I expect it to be dog fights every week. I mean, our goal right now is to win every series. If we can win 2 out of 3 every series, we're going to put ourselves in a really good position at the end of the year. And that's can't get swept. Got to win. It just can't happen. And that's something that we've come off of some good series where we've won 2 out of 3 and come back and got swept. We come off of winning a series and losing 2 out of 3, and that's something that we've got to do different here. We're playing this. Obviously, we want to sweep win every game, but the reality in baseball is you're going to win a third, you're going to lose a third. It's that third in the middle that dictates where your season goes, and we've got to do a better job of winning that third in the middle, and we've not done that. We've had a tendency to fall off, and our goal is to win 2 out of 3, and if we can do that, I feel like we're going to be in pretty good shape at the end of the year. And I don't expect there to be any slouches. I don't. I mean, obviously we know what Effingham, South Effingham is going to be like. They got good baseball programs they do every year in and year out. There's never a down year. Glenn's the same way. I mean, year after year it's good. We're fighting that battle of getting there, and I feel like we're starting to get to the top of that hill. and where I wanted this thing to be in 2 or 3 years. It takes time. It takes time of coaching changes, coaching styles, new kids, getting all that stuff in place. And I'm really comfortable about what we do every day at practice. I'm comfortable about what we're teaching these kids and where we're going. I don't know a lot about the Augusta schools. I mean, I know the coaches. I know what they expect. I know that Augusta always has pretty good baseball. I mean, I watched a couple of games in the playoffs with those teams play in recent years, and they play good baseball. They're well coached, so it's going to be tough, if not tougher than what it's been.
And Coach, obviously, it's not a region game or region games, but early on, one of the big events is that Baseball at the Beach tournament. I guess it's still 2 weekends. The basic concept, in case people don't know, is teams from South Georgia, here in Glenn County, of course, Brunswick and Glenn, taking on teams from that metro Atlanta area. And obviously, Coach Ferry Glenn Academy was instrumental in getting that going, along with Coach Jimmy Brown and Coach Charles Skipper over here many years ago. But this thing has obviously turned into a pretty big deal at the start of the season. Just talk about how cool that is for somebody who's a baseball coach, a player, or just a fan. That's 2 good weekends of high school baseball.
Yeah, we could do it 3. I mean, we really do. We turn people away, and John's done a tremendous job, Coach Wilburn and Glenn, of contacting guys and getting people here as well, even guys that I don't know. And it's not hard. I mean, everybody knows baseball is a beach coming. We have constant guys calling, teams wanting to come down. The weather's usually pretty good, other than that one day. Both weekends we always get rain, seems like. But it's a good time. We have lots of guys that come down just to play at Edo. I mean, we have coaches call, "Hey, put me at Edo. I want to go play at Edo." Which, with these 2 beautiful facilities that we have here in Glenn County now,
they're old school.
Yeah, they want to go back to that old ballpark, because it's something they've done, and so it's fun. It gives us a chance to see some different opponents, because year in year out with a 30-game schedule, we pretty much see the same guys year in and year out away from baseball at the beach. And we have guys, that Jason Johnson, that coach at Brunswick High, he's bringing down his team to play us. Last year we got Billy Nichols from
Johns Creek,
and he came down, and once again, former Brunswick High guy. So it's fun to see community guys come out and see them, watch their teams play. It's a good time. It's great for the community. Constant baseball. You know how long those days are. You've seen it. So it's a lot of work for us as a staff, for our parents, for our boosters, but it's a great time, and we enjoy it.
And Coach, you've got the Oyster Roast coming up. I don't know if anybody who's not living in Glenn County would want to come, but you certainly would probably sell them a ticket. But if they did, but just talk a little bit about that, the fundraiser that's become, and just what y'all kind of do with the money you raise there.
Yeah, it's been a great fundraiser for us at Brunswick High. We go out to Skippers. It's next Thursday night, the 9th of February, at 6:30, and it's $5,000 reverse raffle, so you can walk away with $5,000 in cash. It's all you can eat. Oysters, drinks are on us. As well, we're doing Low Country Bull this year. Also going to have chicken and some different types of sides and appetizers to go along to kind of make it a full. Everybody has something to eat more.
I got you.
So it's a good time. It's a great time for people to support Brunswick High, to come out and get to see us around, talk with us about ball, and support. I mean, we've done some tremendous things for this facility in the last 2 years. Our sign wall that's right outside here behind me is a huge instrument for us financially to support the kids and get what they need. Some of this is going towards the hidden facilities getting closed in and AC'd. It was finished actually today. It was closed in, so that kind of stuff goes. I mean, it takes a lot of money to run a program and equip your kids and build a brand and give them something they're happy with and they feel good about and being happy with and pride for the program. So that's what this stuff goes to. It goes to gear, it goes to facilities to upgrade, and it's been a great fundraiser and it's a great time.
All right, Coach. Well, we certainly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you around the ballpark this spring.
I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, so there you go. That's the rundown on the blue and gold. The BHS Pirates getting set for year number 3 under Coach Roberts' 2023 season. Just about here. Of course, we'll follow the Brunswick High School Pirates and the Glenn Academy Red Terrors throughout the spring on Golden Isles Baseball, which will air on 912sports.net. So again, for On Air with 912 Sports, this has been Kevin Price from Brunswick High School.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, Secure pay apps and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.